Hello everybody, it's Mr. Rennekamp. I want to give you guys an overview of what we're going to be learning this year. The field of physics is very broad, and as beginners we're just going to be talking about a small section of what makes up physics. So this class will be mechanics. That's a branch of physics. That's what most people start to learn about physics. It's about seeing the world around us and asking questions about how things work around us. Electricity and magnetism is a branch of physics that was it's all about how electrons work and how they interact with each other, how charged particles work. Light and vision has to do with the photons and how they are waves and how they are also particles. Sound and hearing, so how vibrations are described and how they cause us to be able to hear. Relativity, I'm talking about this field is about things that are moving really fast, close to the speed of light. Astrophysics, studying things that are out in space, the things in our universe like galaxies, stars, other planets, black holes. Quantum physics talks about things that are really, really small, smaller than an atom, subatomic particles, and how they behave. Nuclear physics talks about the interactions between things that make up atoms. Condensed matter. This is talking about things that we haven't been able to see yet, dark matter. And heat and thermodynamics, pretty close to mechanics and electricity and magnetism. This is a study about how energy is transferred in the form of heat. So that's a quick overview of all of physics. We're only going to be talking about mechanics in this class. So in mechanics, here are the chapters that we're going to be looking at. The first branch is going to be kinematics, describing the movement or the changes of an object's movement. This is going to be the result after things are caused. This is kind of like the effect. We're studying how are things moving right now, how were they moving, how are they moving in the future is going to be determined by other things, like is there a force acting on it. But this is just a way of describing movement. Dynamics, this is the why behind why things are moving. Describes the effect of influencers, forces, on an object's movement. Circular motion and gravitation. So this chapter has to do with, okay, what if the influencer is not speeding an object up or slowing it down, but really only making it turn? And eventually it would go in a circle. So that's circular motion and gravitation. Energy is a way of looking at the universe. We could just study everything using forces, but energy is a useful tool. Thinking about energy is a useful way to look at the universe. We think about how much energy there is as like a bank account, and then if that energy is depleted, then the object would have no more of that kind of energy anymore. Thinking about things in that way can help us to predict things that would come up from kinematics. So we would take the energy model and then apply it using kinematics, or we would take the dynamics model and apply it using kinematics. Momentum is another model talking about bank accounts and depleting, whether something is depleted or not. But momentum is special in that it is always conserved in a system. Simple harmonic motion describes the ways that if an influencer is changing. So if the force depends on where an object is, then that object is going to start oscillating back and forth. You can think of a pendulum. So if an object on a pendulum, you pull the pendulum back, the object is going to start swinging back and forth, because if it's on this side, it's being pulled toward the middle, and if it's on that side, being pulled toward the middle in the other direction. So it starts oscillating back and forth. Torque and rotational motion is just like dynamics, except we apply them at a distance from a pivot point, and they cause rotation. So if an object is experiencing rotation, so before this chapter we would not be considering objects rotating. Moving in a circle, yes, but not rotating. And then we'll talk about how to describe rotation. And that's it for mechanics. And then if there's time, we're going to be getting into electricity and magnetism. And for AP Physics, we will be getting into electricity and magnetism. Electrostatics, this is static electricity, how charges influence each other, what kind of forces they put on each other. And DC circuits, so if the current or if the charges are flowing in a non-changing way, if they're just flowing like water in a pipe, these rules would govern how they do that. And then in AP Physics, we also cover sound and hearing. We talk about mechanical waves and sound. So how do waves interact with each other? And then things like the speed of a wave, the wavelength, and the frequency of a wave, and how all of those are related. And that's it. So thank you guys. I hope you have a great day.